Welcome, guys, to another episode of Beggars Canyon Boys, episode 48.
Again?
I thought it was 47 last time.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Our Continental States episode.
Wow, nice.
Continuous states, or whatever they call that.
Is there any other reason the number 48 would be significant?
Current president. No, 47.
Yeah, I feel like I was like, we ran over this last time.
Yep. 48. 48. There's like the Tyler the Creator song called 48, but that's about the 48 states. So
Gotcha. My brain was like, there's the 48ers, but no, it's the 49ers. So
so that's next episode.
Week. Yeah.
I cannot wait until we get to say that next time.
Wow.
Well, not yet, guys. Settle down. Today we are talking about, once again, the Clone Wars.
Whoa, but not one episode.
Five episodes. And, oh my God, where the frick?
Maybe a record for the podcast, by the way. I don't know. Maybe not.
I think this might be the most episodes we've talked about in one episode. We're talking about episodes 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I think we're going to do 5 again next time.
Nice. It was a good time. I ran through those,
They're pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then next time it's a 2-episode arc and then a 3-episode arc. So I figured we'd just do 5 again.
Out of the 5 episodes today, there's one in my head that's more a blur because I was paying way less attention to. If you can take any guess to identify which one. Okay, you don't need to be offended on behalf.
Was it the droid one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But that one's fun.
I was like in and out of it, and when I got finally back into it, Cad Bane had already captured them, and I mean, I guess they were on their melon quest or whatever.
Yeah, dude, they have to get the fruits for the top of the cake.
Yeah. Otherwise, Padme will be really mad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anakin will get in trouble.
It's just to show us how Cad Bane got the Senate floor plans that we then see in the premiere of season 2 episode that this was a prequel to.
Yeah, which was, by the way, a little confusing for me because I was like, I guess I did not immediately connect it. I was like, oh, I guess we're going to see like Cad Bane do that again? And I was like, oh, no, wait, this is before. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is confusing because they don't really let you know that that's what's going on. And then the next episode, like, they did it at the beginning of the season too with the clone episodes. They did a prequel and then a sequel one.
But also that droid was dead, so that should have been my big giveaway.
Yeah, but then there he is again in the Hunt for Zero one. Even though he exploded in the last one. I guess, maybe a droid you can rebuild and put the same memories into a new body.
You would think if we have cloud storage, they probably do to some degree.
Yeah. He probably had a backup drive of Toda's memory.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Droids are, like, in a sense, immortal.
Yeah. But they can have their memories manipulated pretty easily as well.
True.
As we see. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've got 5 episodes, like we said. This is Corruption, the Academy, Assassin, Evil Plans, and the Hunt for Zero. We were talking before we started recording. I think every single one of these episodes is kind of crazy in its own way, and some of them are really good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think, personally, my favorite one is the Assassin episode.
Is that the one where Ahsoka is with the class? No, that's with
or
that's when Ahsoka first shows up, right? Because she's.
So you've got the first one, which is Padme and Satine. The second one, which is Ahsoka and the class. Then the third episode is Ahsoka protecting Padme, getting visions of her being assassinated.
Gotcha, that's the one you're saying.
That was my favorite one out of these.
Yeah, I like that one and the one where Padme read it. Like that, those two in a row, I think are really good and fun. Even though one where Padme radicalizes the class is like the
Where
most.
Ahsoka radicalizes the class.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No.
Is the most like soapbox the show has been so far in its messaging, and it's really, really funny. And I think it's funny that it's like for a kid audience too.
It's essentially like teaching a room full of people that are the target age audience of the episode, being like, corruption is when the government members of the government put their own interests in front of the interests of the people. And
she is such a I was
like, where is
really
she learning
laughing? Yeah, right. Like what Anakin saying all this.
Yeah,
but I was laughing so hard when she had a quote that was like, the worst enemy of a country comes from within its own wall or something.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Thank you for reminding me of that, because that's what I wrote down. Like, where did she hear that?
Yeah.
Like, who is telling
That's
her
insane.
that? Yeah. I know she's friends with like some radical people, but goddamn. I mean, I guess she's getting it from both sides. Like, she's friends with like Bail Organa and Padme, but she's also friends with freaking Anakin, and they have very different viewpoints about these things. So
yeah, I was like,
what were you expecting me to
I
say?
was expecting to say something. Sorry, it's you have this. You shoot daggers at me sometimes, okay? I don't want to mess up your precious set. We're gonna be shrouded in darkness anyway, but for some reason you care so much about the drink.
Well, the audio to me is a little more important than
why?
Than the video, because more people listen to it than watch.
Show me the stats that prove that.
Well, I will. I don't want to right this second, but I will.
All right, we can continue. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I was wondering the whole time, like, as that episode was playing out with those students, and sorry that we're talking about this out of order, but I was like, man, are they going to have these students fail and, like, you know, they kind of hyperbolize things in their head, and they made a big mistake breaking into this government facility to investigate, and, like, they were following a bad lead, and everything was fine, and, like, the episode was going to be like, okay, you can't go so far to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to do it with a little bit of, like, grace or whatnot. I don't know. Or, like, are they just going to succeed and then show corruption and expose the leaders, which the episode does do, but then I'm like, okay, like, what is the student, like, I don't know. It's like there's a follow-up to that needs to happen too. And like, I don't know, maybe I guess that'll play out.
I mean, we definitely get a lot more like Mandalore stuff, so it doesn't just get left at that. But I do think, to that point, it's really funny when Ahsoka is teaching the class. You know, the students are like, but I thought that like elected officials were supposed to like help the interests of the people and blah blah blah. And Ahsoka's like, well, most do, but there are a few bad ones that actually, you know, are selfish and greedy.
Yeah.
And they're still like on the side of like, well, government in general is good. Like most government officials are good. There's just a couple bad guys in there. It's not like completely widespread. And that's the thing about the episode too, is
that's like super optimistic.
Yeah, which fine. I mean, Ahsoka at this time is still a little optimistic, yeah, and there's another word that's like a close synonym to that I'm thinking of, but whatever. But once they do capture Almec at the end, the prime minister guy, it's like that has like fixed everything, at least in the tone of the episode, and it's like, no, he had an unmarked police force going around ready to like kill kids.
Yeah.
Like, and there were many like government positioned people involved in this thing. Like, and then like as soon as he's captured, all the police are like, oh yeah, okay, well actually we're back to like following Satine. I mean, they have a little bit about, she's like, these are my personal guards, so these are the only ones I can trust. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like that's nice, but
I don't know. This episode also, like, I was disillusioned of Satine a little bit here, even. But she goes a little wild in her philosophy of everything.
Yeah, when the kids like first talk to her, and she's like,
"Oh,
okay, settle down, guys. Like, I'm gonna deal with it."
But you like, even aside from that, yeah, she's so ambivalent towards them there. But also, just like throughout the episode, I feel like when I don't know, she was so pacifist before, and like didn't even want others to enact any violence on her behalf, but she has no problem like ordering her personal guards around and whatnot, being like, arrest these people or like do this, do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't know. It was like a different side of Satine that we did not see in her original appearance, I feel. And I was like, okay, she's like a little more aggressive than I thought she was.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel, yeah, maybe, because they're trying to like blame it on Death Watch and stuff at the beginning, or the people who want to kind of obfuscate it and be like, hey, it's like an outside thing. It's just this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when she realizes like it's actually like widespread throughout our entire community and civilization, then it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then we have to be a little bit more extreme with things.
I guess, but I don't know if they're foreshadowing anything with her. Like if she does maybe she does not turn a little sour at all. But I would say like it was not to see her be like, hey, or the one guard was like, hey, let's preserve this place for evidence. And she was like, no, burn it down.
Yeah, that was weird.
And she was like, if you do not, I'm going to assume you're a traitor too, and you're going to go to jail forever as well. I was like, whoa, that dude literally just fought for you.
Yeah, yeah. Like, was in a firefight to help you. Like, yeah. That was weird. That was very weird.
That's pretty hardcore, and now I guess their government system that was kind of like a dual power system is now just a mono power system.
Yeah. The Duchess and the Prime Minister, but now he's arrested. So do they appoint a new Prime Minister, or is she just going to be in charge of everything? That's a good question.
That's why I was like, what is this like? I don't know if there was a Satine thread to follow there, or I was just paying too much attention to stuff that does not matter,
Well, I will be pretty curious to see that aspect of it, because I do remember the later Satine episodes, but that specific element of it, I can't really remember if that ends up like playing out in a new way or not.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on that I think is pretty interesting.
One more Satine thing about that episode, since we're talking about her.
Yeah.
Great outfit when she's eating with Padme, and she's got like the blue.
Yep. I wrote down Padme's looking pretty good there too.
I can't remember what Padme's outfit was. It like the purple thing?
She got like a tan one, and her hair is kind of out in like this little bob action. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right. And they use that outfit again for Padme in the next episode too. I'm like, okay, they made a new character model. They're gonna get some use out of it.
Based on what you asked me last time, I also took a note at their food this time.
Literally, it was the exact same food as was at the Toydarian.
Like 4 tomatoes and the cubes?
It wasn't the cubes, maybe not, but it was the same like leg of meat and tomato slices. And also it was the same as the kids' lunch.
Okay, I guess everyone there eats that all the time. Yeah. I was like, man, Satina's like a terrible host to Padme right now.
This dinner this is literally a school lunch.
Yeah. For a dignitary, okay.
I know, it's like, is the school super fancy or is Satine just a piece of shit? I guess they are going through like a food shortage on the planet.
No, but she points out specifically the school has enough in its budget. She says that in these episodes.
Okay.
Because the one guy's like, no, I was doing it so the school could get more funds. She's like, they have enough funds. And also, where were those? You remember that part?
Yeah.
Like, where were those funds?
I guess they have the funds. They're just being used incorrectly.
Yeah.
Because the kids say that they're, like, hungry.
I guess, yeah, that's true. That's why they go search for the food. All they find is a bag of tomatoes.
I'm sick of these dry, white tomatoes. All right. So, yeah, we've talked about it a good bit already, but these first 2 episodes on Mandalore, we got corruption in the Academy. So the first one, we won't retread too much of what we've already said, but there's the Commerce Guild is like bringing in some poison on the black market to like dilute this tea so that they can sell like twice as much for half the stock or whatever.
Terrible business plan though, because you kill your consumer who's buying it.
Yeah. But he says like it's not poisonous if you do the formula wrong, but it seems like for like kids it is poisonous, and I guess they had just done the formula for adults and didn't think about kids.
Yeah. Crazy. Also, the core premise of the episode is like kids are being poisoned or dying.
Yeah, from school.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they do also. It's just weird the specifics of this because they're like, "Have you checked the water?" And they're like, "Oh yes, well nothing's wrong with the water." What about that drink he's got there? Well, that's from an outside vendor. The kids are allowed to like buy tea from an outside vendor at school, but we don't like. So I'm like, wow, this is like actually pretty realistic, I guess, because we had like vending machines in our high school that I'm sure the school didn't really like screen what was going in those.
It's like if Mountain Dew Code Red was poison.
Yeah, for real.
Also, that is a funny moment of the episode where they just take that kid's drink and they're like, "Sorry, we need this."
Yeah,
And
it's like, hey,
yeah,
but hey, you saved him from going to the hospital.
true.
So.
That's true. Yeah. They should do like a butterfly effect and show us like that kid's path in the future.
Oh yeah. Like the hospital
Force.
actually would have been a good thing for him.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Then he becomes like a Sith Lord because of this.
Mm-hmm. He you know, they're kind of at that age, like 14, 15, 16, where you start like developing empathy. And maybe, you know, and some people do and some people don't. But maybe hit a little like shock to the system, going to the hospital, seeing all this suffering among his peers, you know, would have changed his perspective on things and thought about, you know, his mortality, systems of government and people, you know, being impacted by that in real, very tangible ways. But no, he just went along with his studies that day.
Really kind of reframes the episode for you and who the good and bad guys are here.
Yeah, Padme is like pissing me off in general in this episode though, because first of all, the episode is very different than other ones we've seen, but we have seen too many episodes at this point about like there's a neutral planet and so trade is being limited there.
Yeah.
And resources are hard to come by because they don't want to enter the war.
They love this.
They do. So there's like a argument happening at this little council meeting, and like different dignitaries or whoever these people are in the Mandalore government chamber are yelling at each other about black market and whatever, and Padme's like, well, perhaps a fresh voice can like you know, will be like welcome to them or something. She immediately is like, you guys should join the Republic. If you join the Republic, then it's like, oh my god, why do you always push this fucking agenda? Like, you act like you're like so friendly and clandestine to everyone, but you really always want people to join the Republic and think that they are like morally wrong for not doing that.
Just a politician, just another politician of the galaxy.
I want her to be better than that, though.
Soulless in her own ways there, honestly.
Yeah. She's like immediately.
That's why I was asking you if like the Clone Wars series Padme sees, I don't know, any like different characterization moving forward, because she's also just like boring to me at the moment. I feel like they don't do much with her. And like, I guess this episode where it was like time to put a spotlight on her just does like, I don't know, Detective Padme with Satine.
Yeah.
Which is like fine, but it's not, I don't know.
I thought about that while watching it, because you had asked about that, and I'm like, okay, here we go. This is like a Padme-focused episode that's outside of season 1 now, and maybe we'll see a little more depth. And not really. I mean, she's not like a terrible character or anything, but she's just kind of like very stuck in her ways.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I want to see her in a completely different environment from like doing like political espionage stuff at the moment, which I know is like kind of where her character is centered in.
Yeah.
But for some reason in the show, it's like, I don't know, whenever we get a Padme focus on it, she's the least interesting part of whatever's going on to me.
I did like the one where she met up again with her like childhood boyfriend who was a separatist.
Yeah.
She was kind of interesting in that one, I think. I also wanted to say the Commerce Guild ship is really, really cool. When it lands on the dock and it has like little spider legs that go out to like settle in. Mm-hmm. I just really liked that a lot.
Lego set of that?
Not that I don't think so. I
was trying to think today of like slightly related to Lego, not quite, but models. I was thinking like, are there Hot Toys figures for every Star Wars character basically you can think of at this point? because I think I saw a Cad Bane one, and I was like, oh, I thought that'd be a little more niche, but and maybe he's not.
I mean, he's kind of a bigger character, I guess.
Okay.
In terms of like popularity, and they have a lot. They have a lot of Star Wars Hot Toys for sure. But I don't think they have like a
Sly Snoodles.
Honestly, they might even have like a Max Rebo band set or something. I don't know, but I don't think they have like a Sio Bibble or like Gra Gra Hot Toy.
Who's Gra Gra?
The Gorgmonger, bro.
Oh, that's her name. That's so rude of me. I think I picked her to have a drink with me too.
Yeah.
And we had that drink.
How was that?
It was good. She told me her name, and I don't remember it.
Obviously, it didn't make a huge impact on you.
Those Gorgmonger drinks are strong. What can I say?
I think it's pretty obvious that like Almec is the bad guy from the beginning of this first episode, even before they like see him in the meeting, or like we don't know his identity or whatever. He's just so like, oh my goodness, well, we'll have to look into this.
Yeah, I gotta say, honestly, his moments in these episodes are written like in a pretty silly way. Like,
yeah,
most of the time, like a very, very overt. Like that's the bad guy, and he even when like they kind of reveal like, oh, I think the moment is like something's been erased or like the records have been erased or whatnot. Like only a few people have access. Who could have done it?
Yeah,
He starts running away right there, and it's like you were not given up necessarily. Like,
yeah,
but now they're like, yeah, arrest him immediately. Like
he's like, I actually have to go.
Yeah, yes, yeah, true. It was extra silly too. Then Teen's like, arrest him immediately.
Yeah, she's getting freaking ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where they go to the warehouse that's making the tea, though, I think is really cool. Like they go like Black Ops style, pushing the big crate and like hiding behind it while they're advancing into the room. Like that was a great little action sequence, I thought.
Also, the little firefight that breaks out. I don't know why I was like kind of surprised by it. I did not expect like all of a sudden the other guys just like to pull out all of their guns and start shooting.
Yeah,
like, I feel like it happened in a split second, and then like so many of the Mandalorian people were dead like instantly.
Yeah,
from that, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
got violent.
I know. I mean, it's surprising to me that you've got the Commerce Guild guys, which maybe they would like pull their guns out right away. But the Mandalorians that they're working with, you would think would maybe be like, oh, okay, we're caught. Like, let's just get arrested and not get killed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but Padme's willing to go in there and start shooting. Like, right, she's willing to kill, and she does.
She was out for blood.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing our children.
Yeah, I mean, it's messed up.
That was more what Satine said, but
then the next one, for some reason they say, okay, let's get a Jedi to come and inspire our kids.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, Satine has a very specific reason. She plotted this out. Remember?
I mean, yeah, but it feels a little not super justified, I guess.
The reason's basically like, I just thought a Jedi would come and work their magic, like, and fix my problem.
Yeah, essentially, like. I'm gonna make someone else deal with it, but we're still neutral. We're still neutral. Yeah. We're not part of the Republic.
She even calls herself at one point like, "I'm a friend of the Jedi." So like, I put my life at risk all the time.
Yeah, you're a sexual partner of a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. I like the moments of like Ahsoka being like, so Obi-Wan got into trouble. That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So Ahsoka is really like developing nicely as a character.
This episode, and I don't know if that's exactly what you're saying, but I feel like I'm noticing now like a stark difference from where she was before.
Yeah.
And like her personality is way more vivid now.
Yeah.
And I like her a lot. I think she's really fun.
Same. I think it's kind of like built naturally, and then you have like these moments where it's like, okay, now for sure this is like a next level up. And I think I wrote down that she's like in her middle evolution era here, like Charmeleon style, where like now she's like, I'm using the mind tricks, like I'm I'm starting to have visions.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of things a little bit more now. Like, it's great. I
Yeah,
think
a lot of big force moments for her in this episode, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does. Well, I guess she's not really doing the mind trick in this one because apparently that was they were trained to resist it. But
Yeah, weird.
yeah.
I feel like they could have just made that a moment where it's like she was doing it. Because
Yeah.
also I was like, whoa, she's like really relying on it now.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, I guess the core idea of her thinking she's doing it still kind of matters.
And I think these kids, like, this could have been like a really annoying episode, but the kids are pretty likable and not too bad. At least I thought.
No.
I
like Satine's nephew too. He's just like,
yeah, quirky.
Yeah.
They have silly names.
We'll
for
go
sure.
to my aunt. She'll know.
Mm-hmm.
And she cold shoulders them, but
Yeah, she's like very dismissive. But then after that, the kids are like, she said she wasn't going to help at all. It's like, well, actually, that's not true. She did say she was going to look into it and do something about it. But I get that was a frustrating conversation.
you know, that's also really funny because they really go against her with like what they're saying, and then later on in the episode, by the end, one of them, I swear, quite literally says like, "We never doubted you. Like we always."
Yeah.
And it's like, you fuckers, you're lying.
Oh, I think they said that to Ahsoka, actually.
It was to Ahsoka.
Maybe.
Okay.
At least that's my memory of it.
Maybe okay.
But
So they did doubt Satine.
yeah. And they, I guess they were playing along when they are getting arrested, and they're like, "We trusted you" to Ahsoka. I guess they're playing their part there.
Yeah.
But,
Those terrorists. Wow.
crazy. And Olmec is ready to like murder these kids.
Yeah.
At the end, he's like, "Now these are the only people who know about it in this room, so I'm gonna execute all of you."
Which, by the way, a very Anakin plan of Ahsoka to like put the innocent lives at stake.
Yeah.
As your gambit, you know.
For real, like, I don't know. She didn't want to like convince some of Satine's guards or something to help with that instead of 4 children.
She could have got that. She didn't need to do that.
Yeah. Pretty, and I mean, I get that you want to have these characters be involved with the main action of the story, but like, yes, I agree.
Also, I guess he does not know her personally, so he doesn't know what she's normally like, but it's like so funny her acting like she's on his side.
Yeah,
I've got the terrorists. It's like, oh, sure you do. Okay.
And I guess he knew that it was a ruse the whole time, but
which is good because it's super obvious.
Yeah. But he's so evil. Like he's like straight up torturing people, ready to kill children. Like he doesn't give a fuck. And I guess it's all because of money and feeling like, oh, Satine is leading Mandalore away from its glory days or whatever.
I wish there was a little better justification for why I was doing things.
Yeah.
Or like I wish he had more, I don't know, ammo against Satine. But
yeah, because she seems to be like pretty imperfect, but that's only kind of like hinted at, and we don't really get a lot of detail there. I like that cell that she's in, that he gets put in, like that like telescopic cubes that.
I don't remember who gets put in it.
Satine is in it when like Ahsoka and the kids I guess show up, and Satine is in this like,
and it's got like the hollow view
top thing of this like blue clear cube, and then it like collapses down like in a telescopic way, and then they put Olmec in there at the end. It didn't leave a big impression on you, I guess.
I guess not.
That's okay. Cool Ahsoka, cool fighting with no weapon as well.
Oh yeah,
multiple times in this.
Oh yeah, why'd you have to give up her life? Oh, because Mandalore's new rule. Like because
after Obi-Wan. Yeah. Which is pretty funny, I think.
Yeah.
But then when Rex is like, "All right, Master Skywalker, Kit Fisto needs us on this planet," I'm like, "Ooh, can we see that? Can we see?"
I was literally
Anakin
thinking,
and Kit Fisto's mission together.
We probably do, right? Or no?
Not that I can remember, but I do remember more Kit Fisto stuff, and maybe Anakin is there, and maybe that's what that is.
Also, man, have not seen. I know we've seen a bunch of clones recent, but for some reason, props to the voice actor because he stands out as Rex. I'm like, man, we hadn't seen Rex in such a long time.
Yeah, true.
It's nice to get a little visage of him there.
Yeah, all 5 of these are pretty light on clones.
Yeah. I guess we did have a little clone-heavy sequence of episodes there, so
true. That's true.
Breather. But I just mean like our boys Cody and Rex.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they were in the ARC Troopers episode where Kamino's getting attacked, but other than that, you're right. They haven't been around in a minute.
They've been having like cameo roles though.
Yeah.
You know? They haven't had a storyline devoted to them.
I can think of at least 2 really awesome Rex storylines that are coming in the next couple seasons at least. So
I think one of the Star Wars trading cards that I got had artwork that was a spoiler of Rex and Ahsoka. I don't know what they were doing, but I think Rex had like his helmet was maybe torn off, and there was a bunch of tally marks on it or something.
Yeah.
I could be mixing things in my memory because I tried not to look too hard at the cards that were spoilers. But...
Well, I don't want to say that's a bit of a jumble of multiple things coming together. So, all right. Anything else about the 2 Mandalore episodes?
No.
So, the 3rd episode we watched, as hinted before, is Assassin. This one is where Ahsoka is starting to get force visions of Padme getting assassinated by Aurra Sing, who she believed she had killed in those earlier episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Aurra Sing survived the Slave One crash. But it's really interesting to me because this is very similar to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith starting to get visions about Padme dying. And both of them go to Yoda to talk about it. And Yoda says like pretty much the same thing to both of them. And then they kind of have like similar takeaways from it as well, but just slightly different, where Yoda to Anakin, and Anakin also can't really say like who exactly his visions are about because he has to keep a lot of those details secret.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm sure Yoda knows.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like at the very like Obi-Wan of course knows, and then like Yoda also probably knows, and I bet Mace Windu doesn't even care enough to like think about that. But
I feel like in the episode you were referencing with like her ex-boyfriend, even we had talked about previously how they like kind of pushed Anakin in that situation because they knew and were kind of messing with him.
Yeah, well, that was Palpatine who recommended Anakin be the one to do it.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But they all agreed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I have any like conclusion from this, but I do find it to be a pretty cool parallel that Yoda tells both of them like, okay, so the future is kind of always changing. You can get these glimpses of things that could possibly happen, but they're not like set in stone. You know, you're not like things can happen to change the outcome of that, but also like don't necessarily just ignore your dreams and like, but also you can't protect everyone. You can't save everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, Yoda. I mean, what am I supposed to do then?
I guess Yoda is kind of inconsistent on that, though, because also in the original trilogy, doesn't he tell Luke, like, man, I cannot remember if it's Yoda who has the vision or it's Luke who has the vision, but isn't he like, if you go and try to save your friends right now, like, you will all die?
Yeah.
Does Yoda have that vision?
No, Luke has the vision of Han and Leia, like, being in big trouble.
Gotcha.
And then Yoda...
And Yoda's like, don't go do anything to change it.
Yeah. Because, well, he's just saying that he thinks that Luke will die if he goes to try and fight Darth Vader right now.
Yeah.
And, like, he doesn't die, but, like, he definitely would have if Darth Vader was like trying to kill him there.
Okay, so it sounded like Yoda maybe didn't know what the hell he was talking about then.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about now, and he never knew what he was talking about.
Well, I think we've established Yoda makes a lot of mistakes. You know, Yoda was blind to the whole plot of everything going on.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no big Force vision of Order 66. Nobody got one of those.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Right. But man, that'd be crazy if you're like. I mean, even imagine you're Anakin and like you're starting to get visions of your clones turning on you.
Yeah.
That would mess with you. That'd be nuts.
Totally. But they all seem to be quite blindsided by that. But we get a little examination of that in the Clone Wars. Yeah, Yoda's just really interesting to me though, and I think he feels super guilty for being so blind to everything that was going on, like after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
That, you know, that could be part of it too in Empire, where he's like, my ignorance like led to the death of so many Jedi. Like I can't be responsible for that again. So like, you're not ready to fight Darth Vader. Like you gotta stay.
Yeah.
But you know, it all worked out in the end. But I think Han was actually like originally supposed to die in Empire Strikes Back. Like he does not come out of the carbonite. Like originally when they wrote that, they didn't necessarily have plans for him like getting unfrozen and coming back.
Oh, so that moment was supposed to be the death.
Yeah, I guess I think so.
Oh,
it's hard to like verify for sure, but I think Yoda is pretty much saying like your friends may or may not die regardless of what you are going to do right now. But if you go, you will die as well as them.
And look what happened.
Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, like you said, you don't always know.
Well, then what's the point of saying it may or may not happen? Yoda just wants to seem profound and like he's dropping some wisdom sometimes, I think.
I think you're right. So Ahsoka becomes like obsessed over this vision and is just like, look, like you're in danger. Like I want to come with you and protect you.
Yeah.
And yeah, she does.
Yeah, Padme's going to like it's a peace summit that she suggested they do, so she can't avoid it.
On Alderaan about refugees, something. Nice little drop of the Princess Leia theme when they fly into Alderaan.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That was nice to hear. But I like how the visions become like more and more clear throughout the episode, and Ahsoka is like starting to like meditate and like focus on these visions, and then because of that, she's able to like prevent the assassination. Like,
yeah,
and the visions still do come true because Padme does get shot, but she's able to like force pull the rifle a little bit so that it's like in her shoulder. Like, I don't know, pretty cool.
I thought it was cool too. I like this episode a lot, and I think bringing Aura Singh back like this also works really well and makes her super creepy. She's like a great candidate to be having kind of scary forced dreams and visions about. Yeah.
Like, I forget what Aura Singh says in those visions, but it's cool, like creepy dream stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
and like the like style of how we see the visions also like is like morphing how people look anyway, and she already looks crazy. So like,
yeah.
I don't know. She just looks very disturbing. She's a scary character, but like in a cool, sexy way.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's so they have a little plan to like draw her out by putting a droid in Padme's place for this summit, I think it's absolutely insane that they would leave her alone in her room.
Yeah.
And then they have to like run back to the room to protect her. Like you didn't want to have like at least a couple people hanging out in the room.
Padme like seemed a little split between taking it seriously and not taking it seriously at all the entire episode.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, like, which to me is crazy when you are familiar with Jedi and like know that the Force has those powers and like there's no reason for Ahsoka not to be getting Force visions. Like she hasn't shown any like decline in her character or like mental sanity really so much that you'd be like, yeah, crazy.
And also she has been the subject of an assassination plot like 3 or 4 times at this point too. Like people want to kill you, Padme.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
true. They even note they're like, well, it could be anyone. Like there's a whole list of people who want you dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And this time it's 0.
Yeah. Great reveal there.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I do like the little final fight in the bedroom though, like Orsing double blastering like really fast.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka's blocking a lot of them and then gets hit in the arm and then Padme has to like shoot her to stun her.
Yeah, Orsing and Cad Bane both moving quicker than I thought they should be against Jedis, honestly. But, you know, for Ahsoka, it's a little more understandable.
But Cad Bane, you know, he's supposed to be like the best.
True. And I know, jumping ahead, but 2 Jedis, Obi-Wan being one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Obi-Wan.
But
took down Grievous. Who else? Obi-Wan killed someone else, too. Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Can't take down a little Cad Bane.
Yeah, I guess they're probably, you know, it's unfamiliar terrain. They were on these little tiny rock outcroppings and jumping around.
Right, but if you and I were in that situation, I would just be like, boom, force grab Cad Bane. And I'd just be like, I'm holding him still for you to slice him.
Yeah, true. That's true.
It's that easy. Honestly, I was thinking about the, like, not that I'm always like, okay, well, the Jedi should always win because Jedi should always be more powerful because they're, like, Force users against people who are just using, like, technology and whatnot. But I was like, man, I do feel like there is some justification in my head that I need to have for myself. Like, why are the Jedis not always crushing folks like this? Like, just using their Force abilities and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I would think they probably could, like, Obi-Wan probably could, if he really wanted to, annihilate Cad Bane. Yeah. But doing so would probably be brutal and, like, erring on the side of the dark side, you know? So I was like, if Anakin was here and, like, Cad Bane did something to Padme or something, like,
fucking snap his neck
right
away.
He'd be killing him right now. Like,
I think they are trying to, like, capture Cad Bane rather than kill him too, so that's probably part of it. But they could. I do think you're right that they probably could just like hold him in place with the Force.
Yeah.
But I always justify it a little, and not to say that it's not frustrating sometimes because it is, but I always think like, oh well, they kind of have to like be focusing on using the Force to do that, and maybe if they are, you know, jumping around on these rocks and they've got a little droid flying around bothering them and Cad Bane's got these little tricks and like distractions and things. They're kind of using their Force energy to like make sure that they jump correctly and like keep their balance, and that all takes like Force focus and attunement and everything. So like maybe they can't, I mean, and that, you know, whatever. If somebody decided in the writing to have them do like 3 things at the same time, I probably wouldn't bat an eye, but that's kind of how I think about it, at least.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily think it needs like justification so much like that, but it does just come to mind like often.
Yeah,
and I cannot help it popping into my head and be like, man, I know Obi-Wan's got better moves than that.
yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Well, before we get all the way to that episode, shall we briefly talk about the evil plans, the C-3PO and R2's shopping adventure?
Yes, yeah. Further the cake topper, fruit cake topper.
Yeah, something melons.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So yeah, this is literally just like an excuse to have a C-3PO and R2 episode, which I don't hate because they are doing their character stuff pretty nicely in this one.
Yeah.
Except for, whatever. They're droids. It doesn't matter. But to me, C-3PO would be the one distracted by the droid spa, and R2 would be the one who's like, hey, let's stick to business.
That's why Anakin said he sent R2 also.
Yeah, for real.
So it was kind of a switch of character there.
I guess R2 might be a little bit horny.
He was the...
and, like, vain. Well, R2 definitely has, like, a bigger ego than C-3PO.
I'm taking that in because I'm like, well, I could see it if I'm R2, right?
Yeah.
You've done a lot for a droid. And especially if you, like, comparatively are looking at C-3PO.
Yeah, bro. You haven't done shit.
You're like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm hot shit. This guy's nothing. Like...
C-3PO is still... Or R2, sorry, is still riding high on saving Padme's ship leaving Naboo.
With the little suction thing?
In Phantom Menace.
He's saving the ship.
When they're going past the Trade Federation blockade in Phantom Menace, they send all these astromech droids up to the top, and it's like our introduction to R2. All the other ones get like shot off, but R2 like does some stuff to like reactivate the hyperdrive, and they're like, that little droid did it. And then they're like, I want to thank you, R2-D2, for saving us. So he saved the lives of Padme, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon right there.
Wow, okay, yeah. He's taken out evil droids. A few we've seen even.
He's definitely been in a lot more action than C-3PO.
Mm-hmm.
And when C-3PO is in action, he just gets like thrown around. Like he doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah. Has C-3PO gotten like a Roger droid kill-in or something or anything like that yet?
Yeah, in Attack of the Clones, if you remember, he got his head switched with a battle droid.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's out there on the battlefield, very much like Jar Jar style in the first movie, how he's like accidentally killing some droids. Like that does happen.
Okay, nice. Well, I gotta rewatch this first too.
Yeah. Should rewatch all three of them while you're at it.
Well, I think I've rewatched the third one a couple times since we saw it in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. There's like this droid spa, which you texted me about, a nice callback to the droid harem from The Great Heap.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know if it is intentional or not, but...
Feels like someone knew. Someone had to know.
For sure. It's funny, man. Like, C-3PO is like really getting like tortured a lot in this one too. Like he gets electrocuted over and over again, and he's like, I don't know anything. I don't have this information in me. Like I don't know why you guys think I do. And they're like, well, you're Senator Amidala's personal droid, so we figured. And he's like, she doesn't trust me with stuff like that.
Yeah, I have to say I felt bad about it, but like the moment where like Cad Bane is electrocuting him and like R2-D2 is just spinning there like like being shocked, I found it so funny. I was like, this is... I don't know, the noise he was making was like very hilarious to me.
No, I don't like seeing R2 getting hurt.
Hey,
C-3PO I don't really care about.
I usually advocate against droid hate, and I will say Anakin, again, we see a person being very mean to their droids. He's so rude when they come back.
Yeah. But they handled their business. Well, I guess they did give up the plans that let Cad Bane like kidnap and kill some people, but
never really got in trouble for it though. So.
No, well, their memories got wiped, and they come back and they're like, "Where have you two been?" And C-3PO's like, "I can't seem to remember."
All right, so now we know that's the first time C-3PO's memory got wiped, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more. Who knows? I don't know.
There is more.
Okay.
I remember you said you've watched Revenge of the Sith multiple times. I guess you haven't been paying that much attention.
No, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That was the first time. This is the second time. I don't know if there's more in
between.
between.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, it's okay. I just don't know what other writers like wanted to do something with him in between that period and are going to be like, you know what? It's just like a gimmick now. Let's reset C-3PO.
Yeah, true. I guess they just erased that one day from him because he still knew who everybody was and stuff.
I also feel like, though, when he was like, I can't recall anything about my day, and Anakin's like, well, you better. Like, no, dude.
Yeah. It's a computer, but like
Yeah.
it got deleted. It's not like he's gonna like be able to like work hard and then remember it.
Like C-3PO, can he lie to you like about what he did?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
You made him, right? So, and then like
creator,
they tell you like, oh, or they tell him like, oh, you did a great job, C-3PO, or Padme says that to him or whatever, and then he goes around to like everybody at the party and is like, yes, I did a great job.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
He's really annoying.
Funny at the beginning of the episode, too, and Padme's, like, picking out her outfits and, like, stressing out about the party, and then Anakin's like, hey, take a breath. It's gonna be okay.
If only the Anakin sounded like that.
Yeah. I wish he did talk like that in the show.
Man, I also really like the small droid moment, but the little chef or cook droids that like actually put together the cake and like put the fruits on top, which was just like the 4 fruits stacked also.
Yep.
But afterwards they did like a little cheer and they were like, yay.
Yeah. That was fun.
Oh, I liked that a lot.
The guys with like the big ears.
Yeah.
That did make me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole conceit of the stress of the episode or whatever is that whatever senator she's trying to impress with the party, he's like, I can't wait for my favorite cake to come out. And then Anakin's like, you better have got the cake right.
The subtext is the peace deal will not happen if he does not get his cake.
And Anakin is not getting his dick wet tonight if this doesn't go.
He really, like, I think it's so funny. He was like, he talks about Padme's anger and like how she gets mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I feel like, I don't know, I want to see that more, I guess.
Yeah, they have a bad relationship, honestly. I mean, sometimes they're very sweet to each other, but
hey man, it's imperfect. It's real.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. And hey, like, they're only seeing each other very sporadically when Anakin has like a free like
during war.
6 hours from war. Yeah, like crazy.
I know we briefly mentioned it. Also, it is very funny, like, on Mandalore, they were like, oh, we're not getting both Jedis, because Anakin was like, no, I gotta go back to war, like, right now.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We can't spare 2 Jedi.
To teach a kid's class.
It also means Ahsoka's a little expendable.
Yeah. There was something about one of them being like, I want to come with you. And they're like, no, you got to stay and do your studies. Yeah. Whatever. Okay, but maybe the most meaty of all the episodes is this last one, The Hunt for Zero.
Mm-hmm.
A lot goes on in this one. Well, I guess we find out at the very end of Evil Plans that Cad Bane's the people who hired Cad Bane for this job is the Hutt Council.
Yeah.
The Elder Hutt Council.
Whoa, big intro. Hutt Council.
That's pretty cool, you know? We got like 5 or 6 new, like, interesting Hutt designs.
I do like that they all look so different. Like,
yeah.
The Hutt people do not look super similar.
No, I mean, Gardula and Jabba look very similar, but Gardula has, like, boobs. It's really not fun to look at. But there's the one with the monocle. There's the one with like the big metal like e-cigar, like with the red light on the end.
He was like a tinier guy too, right?
Yeah.
Also, I never really noticed it too much before, but I honestly kind of like Zero's design. Like, I like his tattoo that he's got on his eye, like the glowing tattoo or whatnot.
Yeah, same. I think the purple is pretty cool for it too. Oh yeah, that was part of Ahsoka's vision too. She's like, I'm seeing like the color purple.
Yeah.
And then Padme's like, I know what that is.
True. I forgot that's like the connective tissue of how they get to his cell.
Yeah.
And then like he does this sort of like turn reveal.
Uh-huh.
I
forgot they visit his cell.
And Ahsoka tricks him into revealing. All the villains do this. They reveal that they are the villain before it's like there's any evidence or like real proof. You know, there's always suspicions.
And because she's like, we have Aura Singh and she told us everything. And then he's like, that bitch, next time I'll hire somebody better.
Yeah.
You dumbass.
Wow.
I thought you were a crime lord.
Yeah, this is the dude who had the forethought to like have all this dirt on the entire Hutt Council.
Yeah.
And like store it with the mummified remains of his father in the grave.
Yeah. Which, very funny to see a mummy Hutt wrapped up in the bed and just lying down like that. Just
so
weird.
Strange.
We see like the whole body of the Hutts. Like, hard thing to get right in an animated form, I think, because Jabba in Return of the Jedi looks so damn good.
Yeah,
like
he's much smaller on TV.
Yeah, he's much smaller in the special edition of A New Hope when they CGI him.
True, when he walks. Yeah.
Which people are like, actually, that's because over the course between A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, he ate a lot of food and got really big.
Wow.
It's like, no, guys, they had to make it work for the footage that they had.
I feel like I'm probably guilty of it in some regard too, but I think it's so funny when fans are like, no, we can actually make up ideas that actually fix all the holes of stuff, so it makes things make sense better. So there's actually a reason for everything. So the story's actually really well thought out. It's like, well, okay, you can like it, but it's still...
Yeah. And it's like, even if like a official Star Wars writer like put that in a book or something, it's them making like a little joke about a mistake or something.
Yeah.
It's not like George Lucas thought of that.
I also think even like, okay, someone retcons that. It's like still George Lucas's original intention was not that.
Yes, exactly.
And that's still mad. Like that's important.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't like necessarily fix the problem. It's just, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's very silly. That happens a lot in Star Wars, I think, where so like we may have even talked about this example before, but you know, in the first movie, when they're at the cantina and Obi-Wan cuts off Ponda Baba's arm and there's like blood.
Yeah.
That's like the only time we see blood from like a lightsaber cut off but it's also the first time we see really anything with a lightsaber happening. So, you know, at that time they had not really thought about that. Then afterwards, they're cauterizing every single time like a limb gets cut off. It burns it so they don't bleed.
Yeah.
Which... cool. But then retroactively they're like, well, actually that species has like very thin blood, so it doesn't cauterize for them. And like, okay. Some things can just be...
And the thin blood of that species is actually going to really matter in an upcoming Star Wars movie. It's the basis of a biological weapon that the Empire is now using against Force users.
Okay.
I mean, I can write with the best of them.
Hey, I'd love to see it.
Well,
still waiting on that RPG campaign.
Oh man, you know, really, I was thinking about it, and I'm down to whenever you guys want do D&D with you, but I don't know if I can do it Star Wars.
Oh well, I'm down to just play D&D.
Okay, regularly. Well, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
And Connor and I were talking about it the other day. He really wants to play too.
Oh, okay. Well, because I just think when it comes to Star Wars, it's so because I go way more research heavy than I need to, like when I'm preparing for D&D, and I will have to uncover stones of Star Wars that I think will spoil things or ruin things for me, maybe. And also, you know so much more about Star Wars than I do that I would feel inherently at a disadvantage as a DM.
I could just like break the world of
yeah. Especially because it's like such a it's a universe you know so well, and it's like a universe where like historical things are happening that affect other things. So if I was like, yeah, I'd have to make a whole new planet and like a whole new system, like on the Outer Rim or something.
You could set it like 1,000 years in the past or whatever.
Yeah, but I guess like I was like it'd have to be so disconnected from like what we know of Star Wars really that we only have some of the like fun ideas of Star Wars. So it would
Just like the Force and lightsabers and some aliens and stuff.
So it would kind of not be it at that point.
Yeah, it might as well just be D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. Maybe in like 3 years when we've finished everything, you can revisit that idea.
Yeah, or maybe if I can think of like some plot that like keeps you guys confined to a ship or something. But
Oh, that would be cool.
I do think that's a cool idea. I think there's stuff there, but I also like really like the idea of not railroading people super hard and
letting them kind of
and I feel like
they want.
inherent like if you're in a ship like I have already thought everything out probably because I know
it could be a really big ship.
That's true. Yeah, there's like could be ship worlds even basically.
I mean, a Star Destroyer is like a whole city essentially. Well, at least like Vader's Super Star Destroyer is like as big as a city.
Dude, I saw this TikTok that was saying that there's no feasible way that the Empire could actually happen because they would need so many people in their to be stormtroopers,
Yeah.
that there wouldn't be enough in the galaxy to really make that sustainable.
But that's the thing is it's a whole galaxy with thousands of planets that each have billions of people on them.
So also the claim was that at the Empire's height, like they were in control of billions of planets. Is that accurate?
Oh, I don't know.
That sounded like a little crazy.
That's a lot, but
yeah, because then it was making the point. I was like, if there's billions of planets, there's like this. There's like 1.5 million wars likely happening a day. Like rebellions on these planets, blah blah blah, which would take this many troops, blah blah blah, to hold down the planet.
It's like, okay, I mean, fine if you really want to get into that, but like, that's the thing. Like, people complain in Star Wars that like a whole planet really just has one biome and ecosystem on it. Really, it's like, yeah, it's not real, guys. Like, the planets kind of like represent different like environments or things. Like, I don't know.
And like we're such experts on planet diversity of like the entire space and time as we know it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Pluto doesn't really have like multiple types of biomes on it.
Mars as well, right? It would just have sort of a deserty biome to it. There's no I
mean, there's like
water
poles, I guess, where stuff is colder some places and others. But yeah, generally it's just all at least as far as I know, it's all just like red canyons and stuff. So yeah. So take that, people. But I guess their argument is like, yeah, but there's also no life on those planets, and all these planets have life on them, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like that's an argument against their point. Yeah, we don't see that in our universe because we don't see life in our universe. We see that in the Star Wars universe because they've got life. That's why it's different.
Yeah.
Buddy.
True. And it seems like all the life on those planets are pretty specialized for like whatever environment they live in, for the most part.
Yeah, to some degree. Sometimes. The Gungans? Yeah, I guess so.
Little amphibious swamp guys.
Yeah. The Toydarians?
Yeah,
They feel like they should live in like a beehive or something.
That's a good idea.
They remind me of big gnats or something.
Yeah, with elephant trunks.
Yeah, I know I said it. It's not my favorite alien.
No. That's why it's good for Watto, I think, because he's such like a scumbag that the design kind of works. Mm-hmm. But when you see like a bunch of them or like a king, it's like, okay, I don't know. Yeah. I can't take you seriously as like any kind of like ruler type guy.
It's a really good point also about like how the original intention of like creating Watto was to depict a character who like kind of showed that emotional scumbaggery.
Yeah.
And so they then had to go retroactively make an entire alien race based off that design. So they all kind of look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's like all the original intents of like Chewbacca or something, is to make like a very intelligent like dog, like companion friend or whatever. But it's like, well, no, there's a whole species.
Yeah.
And a whole family.
And Yoda has great relations with Wookiees.
Exactly.
By the way, got to Kashyyyk in Fallen Order. Is that what the game's called?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because I'm seeing all these these dead Wookiee, which honestly, as much as I liked killing the Wookiee in Force Unleashed, with the graphics a little better, it's a little sad in
Yeah.
Fallen Order.
They look pretty real. In
Yeah.
this one. Yeah.
But I noticed a lot of the Wookiees that like you free or whatnot, and maybe they're just like malnourished from war. They're much smaller than Chewbacca. And I'm like, man, is Chewbacca like? Is he just like the Rock of Wookiees? Is he a bigger Wookiee,
guy.
like an action star Wookiee?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, and it could be the war torn nature of it too, because after Revenge of the Sith, like their planet gets colonized and they get a lot of them taken into slavery and stuff. So maybe they just were hardier before all that. Sad.
Yeah, bummer.
Okay, so this episode, we are introduced properly to Quinlan Vos, a new Jedi for the show.
That's like your opinion.
It's
one of the first lines he says to Obi-Wan.
Oh,
and they're like bickering about him being late, and if they now have they're behind on what their plans were. He goes, made me dislike Quinlan Vos immediately, but then he grew more on me as the episode continued.
I like him, but it's also from other stuff too.
Yeah, sure. I don't dislike him now, but just that immediately I was like rolling my eyes a little bit.
I mean, he's very like brash, confident.
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't like follow the rules. He's saying stuff to Obi-Wan like, "Hey, you've spent too much time on the council, too much Coruscant time, man, too much time in the temple." And it's also like, okay, bro, Obi-Wan has been out there doing a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
Don't necessarily put that on him. But
yeah, Quinlan Vos, where you been? I haven't seen you.
Well, Quinlan Vos they kind of use for more like undercover, like subterfuge type of stuff. Now, Quinlan Vos we have not really seen. He is in the background of Phantom Menace. He is mentioned once in Revenge of the Sith. Just an offhand line from Obi-Wan.
He got Order 66, Quinlan Vos did.
No, they say...
he's very British.
He's doing something on Boss Pity. So the main Quinlan Vos stuff before this all comes from the Republic comic book that was coming out between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, written by John Ostrander. And we didn't really read that because to me it's kind of boring and annoying. And that might be like a slightly hot take, and I guess I don't mean to like gatekeep potentially Star Wars content that you would like. You're totally free to read these if you'd like to.
I'm so iffy with Star Wars on comics, to be honest. They can be quite hard to read, hard to get through.
To me, they're John Ostrander. Not saying he's a bad writer. He definitely had some very cool ideas in these Republic comics. People like them because they are like a little bit darker in tone than a lot of other Star Wars stuff. They're a little nasty. They're a little violent. And I think I could be wrong, but he is the guy who I think I'm right about this, that he is also the guy who writes Legacy with like Cade Skywalker, and that's also a little like edgy, like sexy and violent. The Republic comic issues that he writes are very much that way too, but they're overly wordy. They don't really flow well. It's kind of an interesting story. Quinlan Vos is undercover as Dooku's new assassin, essentially.
That's
after
cool.
Ventress dies, and if in the old continuity,
okay,
like from Tarkovsky's Clone Wars.
I was like, wow, you just... No,
but we saw her die in that.
Sure.
And then in those Republic comics, she dies a different way. But
by the way, in my head, I know this doesn't happen, but like I've been like, yeah, we're gonna still see Anakin kill Ventress, like in that way in the Clone Wars, which I know, like I'm almost 100% certain we're not gonna get that.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. We do get a good bit more Ventress stuff very soon. Next time.
man, I just love that so much. That was a great gift of Star Wars to watch that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could watch that in the 2003 Clone Wars thing any day.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, his whole thing, it's just very repetitive. It's very much like he actually has fallen to the dark side. Oh wait, no, he was just pretending. Oh, but maybe in his pretending he accidentally did slip a little bit too far into the dark side.
Okay.
Oh, but no. So it's just kind of that, like over and over again.
Kind of a Mace Windu thing, but less like clear about it, I guess.
Yeah, it's more like the cover will be like Jedi with a gun, and he's like, about to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my god, am I gonna like execute this person to stay undercover or not? He's much more like serious in those than he is in this.
Oh, he's not as dude bro as he comes across in this?
No, he's not nearly like as like jokey or whatever. I mean, he's kind of like smug and like a badass, like, just a more generic, like freaking, who am I trying to think of? Like Kyle Katarn, I guess.
Okay.
Where they're
just
like
kind of a badass.
Yeah. Or fucking Dash Rendar. These throwaway
guys. I haven't thought about Dash Rendar.
Yeah. But anyway, I like him in this episode. I understand, like, at first thinking he's annoying, but like I think he's a great foil to Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
I like their dynamic. I wish that was more of the focus of the episode rather than Cy Snoodles and Zero's romance personally. But that is very like funny and interesting to me that they would like spend an episode focusing on that. But I would like to see some more of Quinlan Vos personally. But.
Yeah, I will say, like I said, I've landed on neutral for him on the episode. Just I guess I feel like we didn't get that much with him, like, or I feel like I don't know his personality that well yet.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll see him better in action in the future. And also, he was kind of annoying me in the Cad Bane duo fight with Obi-Wan, because I feel like Obi-Wan would get knocked down and come back and hit Cad Bane. When Quinlan Vos got knocked down, there was like a 30-second period where like Obi-Wan's just fighting by himself and then gets electrocuted, and finally, I know like dramatically it's like Quinlan Vos comes back and helps out, but I was like, dude, you're slacking. Like, I'm not giving you accolades for that. You should have been right back there immediately.
True.
Just, maybe it did bother me a lot. Obi-Wan and Quinlan Vos should have beat Cad Bane there. I'm sick of like Cad Bane getting away.
Yeah. That's true, but he did have Toto helping.
True, yeah. Very funny, like picking up all his stuff as he drops it as he's like fighting these guys too. He's like, your hat, your blaster.
Yeah. And he does pick up Quinlan's lightsaber and tries to stab Obi-Wan with it.
Great moment there though, actually, too, because also, that scene was just maybe rubbing me the wrong way, but it did redeem itself there, because I was like, oh my god, now Cad Bane has a lightsaber and he's going to go against Obi-Wan and hold his own with a lightsaber? But Obi-Wan immediately like disarms him.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That was a cool part of the fight, I think, too, because Cad Bane is like getting all excited, like, "Ooh, I got the lightsaber," and then Obi-Wan immediately like disarms him, and it's like, okay, that is probably what would happen. He might be able to block like 1 or 2 hits and then get disarmed.
Yeah, I was like getting like fan annoyed that like he was going to be able to. I thought they were going to do a lightsaber fight with like Cad Bane and Obi-Wan for a moment there, like on the rocks. And I was like, not earned or like cool.
No, but it is cool to see Obi-Wan dual wielding for a second.
Yeah, that was very cool. Saving Quinlan Vos's lightsaber, by the way, from falling into the depths.
And yeah, they kind of like unceremoniously end that part of the episode because they like chase Cad Bane to his ship. He flies away. Then it just, after he flies away and they're both like hanging on the side of the rock, Obi-Wan literally says like, "This is why we don't hang out very much."
Yeah. Oh man, you're right.
And then they're just done for the episode, and it ends with Sice Noodles giving Jabba the book of the Hutt stuff or whatever.
Which also has a very silly outro, just like that, where it's not Nice. What's her name?
Just Sice.
Sice Noodles?
Yeah.
All right. Where Sice Noodles is like, and who would have thought a little singer like me could be an assassin, like breaking the fourth wall. And we do like, well, that's all, folks. Like,
yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah. Just I like the vibe of or maybe what they are trying to go for here. Yeah. I like it in a way that it is kind of a risk for like a focus of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different. It's very weird. It doesn't quite work, but I kind of appreciate the swing.
Yeah. I think like through virtue of choosing such a like choosing that character to play this pivotal role in the story.
Yeah.
Makes it so funny that like despite the rest of the episode not being super strong in my opinion, like I really liked it. I thought I had a fun time watching this one.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And I'm kind of knowing the whole time, like, okay, it's not like we're going to get like a bunch of Sice Noodles episodes. So like, if there's one, fine. And she fucking kills Zero here too, which
crazy.
We haven't mentioned yet. But yeah, he's dead now. He's off the board.
Yeah, that was also really nuts to have her do it.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot to talk about with Zero being dead, but I love the interaction of Cad Bane before they start that fight with Obi-Wan and Quinlan Vos there. When Cad Bane's like, well, seems like there's really no reason for us to be fighting now. He's like trying to make a smooth exit, and they're like, oh, well, no,
you held the senators hostage. Like, yeah, that was really funny.
Because even for a moment I was like, oh, Cad Bane's got a point. Why fight here? And I was like, no, he did do that.
Obi-Wan's also got a point. Yeah. And then Cad Bane is like, Separatists offering 1 million credits ahead for Jedi.
But you know what's funny to me also about credits? I feel like we have seen them only recently, and maybe I just have not clocked them before. But I feel like we've started to see them in a few episodes. And I always assumed it was like a digital thing,
Yeah.
But it's like an actual just coin type square currency.
Yeah, it's like these little gold and silver bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely... I guess it's like our world where there's a digital way to do it and a physical way. Because people definitely like transfer credits over electronic devices and stuff as well. But...
Is it gold backed? The credits?
I don't know. That's a good. And then there's all these like different kinds of currency in the world too, because like Watto and Phantom Menace is like, no, Republic credits are no good here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see
there's what Whoopie Loopies.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that's the Mos Espa, sorry, credit, but. Or currency. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's some standard based on like the actual metal that they're given.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of interesting, and I'm sure somewhere in the Star Wars world that gets talked about or explored a little bit.
Probably.
But you would just think like if it is like a precious metal to some degree, we've had like talk about spice and stuff, so. Mm-hmm. Another plot device there almost to throw up.
Yeah, it could be, like these big market determining products like spice that, sets the value of credits. And I would assume like fuel and like spaceship stuff, because that's and weapons is such a big part of the economy and everything that. But it was kind of interesting how nitty gritty they got into credits in the R2 and C-3PO episode where they're like, it's 4 credits each.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, 32, that's the best deal. And then C-3PO's like, no, you said 4 each. 4 times 4 is 16. And then like they're like, oh, we only have 6 credits left, and then they're like, that's all you need to come to the spa.
Yeah. Also, I guess like in the Star Wars world, you can just like very easily take advantage of droids if you want.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I guess there was no guardrails on that for like Anakin giving his money to the droids to go get scammed.
I know they get. I mean, and they even say when they send them away, like, "Hey, keep your wits about you. Don't get scammed."
C-3PO frames it like they have no other choice though. He's like, well, what could we do otherwise? Like, as if that's the only guy in the entire planet selling that fruit.
Yeah,
Which may be the case. I don't know.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know how rare that fruit. It doesn't seem very expensive though.
Didn't look that good either, I have to say.
No, it's like almost like a pomegranate looking thing.
Yeah, it was purple though, right? Like a purple. Well, I guess pomegranates are kind of close to that. It also was like the tube it was in made it look so unappealing to me because it made it look like tennis balls.
Tennis balls. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Not the food in Clone Wars is disgusting.
Which is sad too, because you often hear like, "Oh, cartoon food, like so delicious," and I feel like with Star Wars, you got the opportunity to show us something crazy. But, like Anakin eating bugs in that one episode, I think.
Yeah, that was in the Tarkovsky Clone Wars.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
They're like chilling out under that rainy log, and Anakin's eating bugs, and Obi-Wan's like, "How are you just doing that?"
Oh wow, that's man. I feel like I saw that recently. Maybe I just saw a clip or something of it again.
Well, maybe. And then we can briefly, I guess, talk about Mama the Hutt, Zero's mother.
That no good son taking her ship.
Yeah. I read that she was based on something. Probably a bad thing. I mean, we may have mentioned it off mic beforehand, but she is this very caricature-y, like, I mean, mama type, like, almost like, you want to be careful with my words, but it felt like close to like minstrel archetype, like black caricatures.
Yeah, they're doing something interesting there with like Zero and his mother too. So,
and I honestly, I don't even mean this as a joke. I forgot that like him and Cy Snoodles had a romantic relationship before watching this episode. I thought he was gay.
Me too. Oh yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I've been. This is maybe not great, but I've been like just kind of thinking of him as Kevin Spacey. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think because like I kind of equivocate the Southern drawl type style that he has to like him in House of Cards. And then
just being like a scheming predator. Wow.
yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. No, I see that. And I certainly did not expect them to like reference explicitly that he's gay in any way. But when they have him have like a female romantic partner, I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and they make out in this.
Yeah,
we see it.
We really do see it, and there's nasty noises and stuff.
God, the way Cy Snoodles moves also when she's very stupidly getting past the guards.
Yeah.
Just like grosses me out. I feel like her body just like
yeah. She really thinks she is like very sexy, I guess. And I guess to certain types of people she is.
Yeah, when you got it, flaunt it. But also, yeah, I did think it was really stupid how she like tricks those guards. Like it's so.
Gardula wants to see which one of you's the strongest.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, they're fighting.
Oh, okay.
It's like, okay, now you can free the prisoner. Like that's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree.
They've been like. I feel like lately they've been a little lazy in some of the writing for some parts of things.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Cy Snoodles. And I hate that I have to be defending her in a serious capacity.
No, say her name more.
Cy Snoodles. If you want to show her as what the episode bookended as someone capable, of those bounty hunter feats, but with that feminine aura that I guess she has and likes to present, that sweet Southern heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like show her actually plot her way in there or something, or figure out some way to get to him and get him out that is not just like a Looney Tunes in your way. I like
For real.
that
For real.
gets a little frustrating sometimes in like contrast to the shows like I don't like some stuff they do so well. Like okay, I'll give it like with Zero and his mom. Even though that dynamic is like so strange, I thought it was still really good at capturing like a familial feeling of her being like, okay, like you're in trouble, like
all right,
take the shit.
I'm gonna help you.
Yeah,
yeah,
and like bring it back right, blah blah blah, like that, and him being like, oh, like thanks, I have important business, blah blah blah, like just like felt very real, like mother son dynamic stuff that like I don't know, I feel like I've done that with my mom before, where like she does me a favor, I'm like thank you, and I'm like give a little sarcastic comment about it or something, know. Not saying I'm a Zero in the situation, but
no, you remind me of him a lot.
No.
Actually. I don't mean physically. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. You just mean what then?
Just kind of like your attitude, like.
Oh, well, you remind me of Size Noodles.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Very talented musician.
I'll leave it at that.
I do think that was actually like a pretty good song that happened. The
What's the chorus? I was like, I need to remember this when I talk about it.
I don't remember.
Something like Hut though.
Yep, it's for sure in
Hutties. Something, yeah.
I'm sure she's just saying something like the Huts are awesome and sexy, but they've got this whole like dance routine with these three ladies that really like introduce Size Noodles in a big like showcasey type way.
Yeah,
and it's very much like inspired by the opening of Temple of Doom, which you haven't seen any Indiana Jones movies, right?
Only the Crystal
Skull. That's right.
Yeah.
I just watched Temple of Doom again pretty recently.
That's the first one?
That's the second one.
Okay. I really do want to watch them, especially now that I am like a little more familiar with Harrison Ford.
Yeah. They're really fun.
And I want to play the game, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I just beat the game a few weeks ago. I like that game.
You know what else I'm going to watch? Not to play the game, but I want to watch it and then play the game eventually still. I gotta like watch these Avatar movies, man.
Oh, you never watched Avatar?
I've seen the first one, but I watched it like literally when it came out in theaters, which I think maybe like a decade ago now.
Yeah, I think it was 2009.
That's the only time I saw it, and I heard the second movie's like pretty fucking awesome. And
I love the second movie.
I heard this new one. My brother at least said he really liked it. So
yeah, I personally like the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like way too similar to the second one, and just the first one and the second one is such a huge jump. I guess in universe time, in real world time,
mm-hmm.
in change of setting, change of stuff going on in the story, and then the third one is very much like a part two of the second movie rather than like a whole kind of new thing.
Gotcha.
But so that, it definitely did not, to me, have the same like excitement and freshness.
Still liked it
level.
though?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and I love the second one. The second one's like one of my favorite recent movies.
Man, I just keep hearing so much also about like all the technology work that like James Cameron helped evolve, like working on those films, and then like how he's part of like NASA's advisory board for like environmental regulation stuff too.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that's crazy. Like this dude, I was like, I respect that, so I gotta check those out.
He's crazy. He does love technology a little too much, but I wish. I don't know. I have too many thoughts about
James
this to get into it. I mean, he's one of my favorite directors ever, in terms of the movies that he makes.
Mm-hmm.
But him as a guy is getting more and more annoying as time goes on.
I don't know that much about him outside his works. That's.
I mean, yeah, he's just like a billionaire, so it's like what. you're gonna get annoying when you reach that level of wealth and fame. I feel like almost inevitably.
I thought he basically just did like movies and then underwater like resource and exploration stuff.
Yeah, he's super into submarines, and underwater stuff in general. Filming underwater, obviously a huge part of the second Avatar. But even before that, The Abyss was like a big jump in underwater filming. And then Titanic, like the whole reason why he made Titanic is because he wanted to have a private submarine expedition to the wreckage of the Titanic, and he was like, well, I can get the budget to do that if I put it in a movie.
Yeah, see, this is all the stuff I was reading about him, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I do want to watch the Avatar movies now.
Yeah, no, I think that's all fine and great. And to me...
Wait, so what's the annoying aspect of that you're getting from him? Like, has he come out and been like... Oh, I'm trying to think of what is it, like, I love Palantir or something like...
I mean, he loves... He loves... I don't know if he loves AI, but he did a last year, or maybe 2024, I think it was last year, released a new like 4K restoration of Terminator that was solely an AI upscale. And that to me is like really frustrating because Terminator is all about AI taking over the world and killing the humans and you know, just like reliance on technology destroying everything. And then it's like, okay, and you're just gonna like very directly like take away jobs by using AI for this to make like a lesser quality product that...
So that's not like the only instance of him doing something like that though? Or is he like, has he talked about how he plans on using it in the future for stuff like that too?
Well, he has not said it directly, but he has said some things that are a little bit scary, where he has said, if I want Avatar 4 and 5 to come out on time, I'm going to have to figure out how to produce them on a much smaller budget, which to me is kind of like coded for like, I'm going to use AI.
Yeah.
And he's also said stuff like, if I were to film Titanic again, I would do it all digital. Like, I don't need physical sets anymore. Like, I'm all digital all the time, which like, that's fine. Like, he's really good at that. I think that a lot of smaller budget movies and like less, you know, profound filmmakers take that and be like, oh, I can use all digital stuff too, and they make trash. His version of it is like very specific and for a reason. So I don't mind that like Avatar is like a full CGI. Like, I think it works for that specifically, but you know, he's not the only director that, I mean, George Lucas fucking has the same exact opinion.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola, William Friedkin, like all of these guys that worked so hard back in like the 70s and 80s and early 90s before CG was so prominent in movie making, like they all just love using CGI because of how they're like, well, now I can do whatever I want. And I don't know, like that's... Make a new movie, do whatever you want, but it is annoying to me when you go back and say stuff like that. Like, it would have been better. Titanic would have been better if it was all digital.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it wouldn't. That was what was so awesome about it, was like how massive the sets were and all the like challenges that come from shooting it practically and things like that. Like, I don't know.
I haven't seen any of his films, but I feel like I had seen a bunch of stuff about David Lynch also saying like he wishes he could have maybe just shot the films digitally.
Yeah. And Cronenberg, same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like baffling to me, but I guess, you know, I've never
This must be real pain.
directed movies.
Yeah.
They must be so fucking hard. I mean, I know that they are, but I've never actually firsthand experienced like being in charge of a big budget movie, obviously, but like...
You should.
I should be.
Yeah.
I should be.
You should do that. This
But,
year.
You know, at least George Lucas is I know more about, you know, the filmmaking process of the Star Wars movies than a lot of other movies. And he was so frustrated during Return of the Jedi and was like, this is like stressing me out so much, taking me away from time with my kids. Like, I just want it to be easier. Like, I just want it all to be a little bit easier and let me like do it from an office rather than go to Tunisia and have a storm destroy my set. Like, which I understand, but I'm sorry, like the product is better when it is not digital. At least most of the time.
Yeah, I guess also with Star Wars, since like they started investing in a lot of that digital technology, and it, like, I guess my point, you can't really follow how that's going to evolve and like how the industry is going to take something too. So kind of your point about like people emulating James Cameron's digital style and making it worse. So I don't think necessarily, maybe this was, I feel like we maybe talked about this a year ago when we were talking about like audience reaction to the first Star Wars movies. Maybe this is why there was like the divide of it being like, oh, this is like going to ruin movies for the foreseeable future from like taking away the artistry of them. Versus, you know, just going all in on the meticulous CGI nature of Star, like unpractical effect nature of Star Wars.
It's tough, man, because like something like The Thing or whatever has like some of the most intense like practical effects and elaborate like animatronics and things like that of like any movie. Big budget, absolutely flopped when it came out. Like, I mean, everybody loves that movie now, but critically panned and lost money when it came out. And if you're a director who put like their whole ass into something and then it just, people were like, no, I don't like it, and you were thinking in your head like, that's literally like the best movie I've ever made, like I don't know how to make a better movie than that, and everybody was just kind of like, well, not very good, that would probably like break your brain a little bit.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that had a bad like initial reception. That is kind of weird. Just like too new a horror movie for people to.
I guess it was so dark and paranoid and no happy ending and about everybody just, you know, you can't trust anyone and all this. And it was also competing with the other Alien movie that was out at the time was E.T., which was like making a ton of money and very, you know, family friendly and all. I don't know. Yeah. I think it was just a combination of factors of timing and what people were in the mood for when it came out.
Yeah, maybe early space stories in theaters, people were more inclined to go with ones that had more optimistic leanings.
Yeah.
Than ones that, because I would say even Star Wars, you know, it's pretty optimistic.
For sure. Yeah. And family friendly and stuff. But then, you know, before Star Wars, the biggest thing is 2001 Space Odyssey, which is very bleak, very abstract and obtuse. But then after Star Wars and before E.T., you have Alien, which was a huge hit and super dark.
Yeah, there's like one clip I always remember of like an interview of a dad with his son walking out of, I think, Alien.
Yeah.
And he's like, I kind of regret taking my son to it. It's
more violent than I realized it would be. Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I need to watch Alien, see?
Bro, and you just, we've been going on too long, but you said you'd never seen any David Lynch movies?
No, because you know why though? I wrote a play in college. I just not encountered him before then, but I wrote a play in college about a guy who finds a severed ear and then like becomes a little infatuated with it and like starts piecing together like the perfect, like what he thinks is his perfect woman behind it. And apparently there's a David Lynch movie about, and I don't know if those plots are similar or not, or the David Lynch one's like pretty different. But I was like, I feel like I need to avoid this guy's work now because that someone was like, this is super spiritually similar to like David Lynch's work.
I mean, That's the movie's Blue Velvet that people are thinking of. I guess I haven't read your thing that you wrote about it, and I also haven't watched Blue Velvet since high school. But for sure, it opens. I don't know if it opens, but at the beginning, the main character finds a severed ear and starts obsessing over it and thinking about, oh, like, how could this have happened, and gets wrapped up into a whole world through that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where the similarities end.
Interesting.
But that is like a pretty like iconic thing and specific thing, I guess, that it would be hard to not like think of it, I guess, if you were familiar with it. But
I know. I was like, I wonder if I saw it. That's why I was like, I gotta avoid David Lynch's work now. Because I'm like, where did I see that somehow? Like, did a cartoon when I was a kid make a reference to it? And I was like, that's interesting, like in my adult brain. But now that he's now that he's
dead, I'll watch his movies.
No.
Yeah,
when he passed away, though, it like sort of put him back on my radar, and I was like, oh, I do want to like watch some of his movies because I like they kind of seem like they'd be up my alley.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised because I think you would be really into it. Actually,
I've also heard like my old boss used to love him, so I've heard some like interesting stories about David Lynch and like how he would just like have dead animals in his basement and whatnot, and like show people. Have you heard any of that stuff? Yeah,
weird guy.
So I'm just kind of interested to see what his mind has come up with.
Well, I haven't seen all of his movies, but Eraserhead.
That's like my number one I want to watch of David. It seems the most interesting to me.
Definitely, I like it a lot. It's for sure not my favorite of his. I think it's his first feature-length movie, so it's a good place to start anyway. But then in like the 90s and early 2000s is when he kind of gets back to his like super abstract and weird roots, and then he has like Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, and Inland Empire, which all three of those are incredible. Like
Mulholland Drive, I heard, is like the need to watch of David Lynch films.
That is what most people would say is his best movie, I think, and it's hard to argue. Personally, my favorite is Inland Empire, just because the vibe of it. Inland Empire, Lost Highway, and Mulholland Drive all deal with like very similar themes, and people put them as like a trilogy of like LA Hollywood lifestyle type stuff, and they all kind of are commenting about the Hollywood industry and young people with dreams versus reality and all that kind of stuff. Inland Empire just is the scariest of all of them to me, and I like scary stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah, I often see things that I do like described as like Lynchian, and I'm like, okay, I must like the style of David Lynch then of these things that I like, or like, I think I saw the TV Glow. Some people were saying had like David Lynch inspired moments in it.
For sure, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I like those moments a lot. So if that's also for my whole life, people have been telling me to watch Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it's great.
Which I've never. I avoided as like a joke back in like high school, and then I just never actually watched it. So another David Lynch thing I need to check out.
I've been talking with my roommates for a long time about wanting to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since high school.
I think I watched like the first half of the first episode one time ever back in high school, and then I was like, I'll continue it like some other time, and then I just never did. He was like in the cafe eating cherry pie, and they found the body of the girl on the beach or something.
Yeah. First season, incredible. Second season, some incredible moments. David Lynch is a little less involved, meanders. And then in like 2015, maybe, they did Twin Peaks The Return, a Showtime series. Amazing.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Was Lynch involved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like very heavily involved, yeah.
Oh my God, and we may have to cut some of this stuff probably from the episode, but my old boss also that did love David Lynch, I totally just got this memory of him coming into the office. I guess it was like the day after Netflix dropped the Monkey short film that David Lynch has on Netflix. It's like a 15-minute film, I think.
I'm I don't know about that.
But it's like black and white, and it involves like a monkey with a gun or something. And David Lynch is in it himself, I think.
Huh.
And so I remember my boss like was because I think I mentioned before he would just play stuff like loudly in the office all the time. So I think I've heard some of like David Lynch stuff going on in that short film because he was just playing it on repeat over and over again. Like I don't know, interesting guy.
Man, I don't remember that. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Next time we'll be covering the next 5 episodes of the Clone Wars.